What is up, everybody? It's your girl, Denise Salcedo. I am currently at Starcast, and with me right now is the bad apple. We got Bryan Keith. Bryan, how are you?
I am phenomenal. We're here in Texas. As you all know, Texas is my home state. Ain't nothing like chilling under the Texas sky, and I'm enjoying myself. It's been great.
Yes, it's very cool just to be out here at Starcast and getting to meet all of the fans. What has that experience been like so far for you?
It's been great. Anytime I come to Starcast, things like this, like conventions, period, I just love it because it's a bunch of people that have the same interests. We're all here because we love professional wrestling, and not only are we here gathered, we're also going to watch some great professional wrestling. So, yeah.
And I also just saw you chatting right now with Stevie Ray. What was that like for you?
Ray, that's honestly, Stevie Ray, I'm a Booker T kid. Yeah. Came from his school. As I was there coming up, Stevie Ray was also there coming up, so he remembers me. Things I've learned from him and Booker. I haven't seen him in a long time, so it's great to finally see him and, just kick it, talk a little bit, and, That's why these things are cool, because you get to see people that you haven't seen in a while and, catch up with them. So.
Yeah, that's so awesome because it's like, you go way back and then to resurface, especially right now that you're doing big things in AEW. I think that's incredible. So let's talk about that. You've been with the company now, what was it, 2023? So it's been like 2 years now?
2 years. Well,
2 years.
Yeah, we're coming on 2 years at the end of this year. It'll be 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm going to start off with a very broad question, but what has that journey been like for you in AEW thus far?
It's unrealistic. It's crazy. Every day I just wake up and I pinch myself because I'm doing something or experiencing something that I never would have thought I'd be a part of. Joining the learning tree and just being with Jericho and Big Bill, going over to the UK or Australia and all these other places that I've never been to in my life. Every day it's just a new experience, and I appreciate it. I'm blessed. I live a blessed life.
Yeah. Honestly, I love hearing you say that because for a lot of people it'd be like, oh, it's work, but you talk about how you're blessed, and it really is because this is what you worked for. I remember seeing you out in the indies and then making it on here to AEW, that's the dream.
Yep. Ever since I was 12 years old, it's been my dream to be a professional wrestler, and I never wanted anything else. I also wanted to be like a crocodile hunter like Steve Irwin, but that's a little extra dangerous. But I feel like when I was 12, I told myself I was going to be a professional wrestler, and I did everything I could to just follow that dream and just make sure I was, stacking on the W's and just getting better and better and being better. So, it's definitely a dream come true for me to be here.
Yes, it really is. It's just so cool to see you get to do that. And you mentioned being part of the Jericho, getting part of the learning tree, and that whole thing. No, I wasn't expecting you to be part of the learning tree. And when you joined, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And you had a couple of lines in the backstage segments, and they were the funniest part of the whole thing, where you'd be defending Chris Jericho, and you're so mad. Yeah. Great stuff. Tell us about what it's like working with Big Bill as well as Chris Jericho.
It's great. I'm constantly learning new things, experiencing new things. And they instantly took me in as part of the team. Not even just a team, a family. Big Bill and Jericho, they've been other places in wrestling. They've done so much, have so much success. And for them to take me in as a peer and treat me like a peer and, just be able to experience these things and travel the world together with them. And it's amazing. It's really amazing, truly amazing. It's been great.
What would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned from them, especially like you said that they've had so much more experience?
I'd say maximizing whatever time that I have, as far as having a match or maybe on screen talking and things like that. Just making the most out of every opportunity that I truly get, and just making sure I go above and beyond, every single time. So they've always taught me to just stay on top of my game and just, constantly have confidence within myself.
The interesting is that obviously Chris Jericho, being the veteran that he is in this business, he doesn't just rub elbows with just anybody on screen. And for you to be that guy, how did that come about? Were you specifically chosen? Do you even know?
Honestly, I personally don't know. I was told that I was chosen, and that within itself just, blew my mind. I remember I was backstage, I was hanging out, and I remember feeling a hand on my shoulder. I turned around, and it was Chris Jericho, and this was my first time interacting with him, personally talking to him. I met him before at PWG. When he came to PWG, I met him backstage just briefly, but this is my first time actually talking with him. Turned around, he was like, you're with me from now on. And I was like, wait, what? And I remember just dropping to the floor and putting my hands on my head, and he was like, you okay? And I was like, bro, I'm just taking this in right now. This is it's too much for me. You know, like, I used to put my little sister in the walls of Jericho as a kid, you know, at the house. So I feel like this is like just a full circle moment for me. But it was, you know, it's a really great opportunity, and I'm just honored that I'm able to take advantage of it all. So.
It's very cool. Thank you for sharing that story because, again, I've always wondered that, you know, how does this stuff work? How do people get selected? You know, things like that. And then there's also the chemistry test that you got to do, like see if you got chemistry. So the fact that, like, you were chosen to be part of this and you brought so much to the learning tree, it's just been very, very cool to see. I do also want to get your thoughts on some of your favorite matches that you've done so far in AEW, whether it's singles, whether it's tag team. What have been your favorite career moments so far with the promotion?
Man, I give you like a good 3 of them. So like me and Bill went against FTR. That was phenomenal. Then I had 2 one-on-ones, one with Bandito and one with Will Ospreay. Yeah. The one with Bandito meant a lot to me because that was in Texas, and a bunch of my family were around, and they were, you know, friends were there too in attendance, and it was special. You know, Bandito being who he is, the most wanted, me being the bounty hunter. Us having that 10 paces moment, and everybody just blowing the whole arena, blowing the roof off the place. It was a special time, but those 3 matches I feel like are my favorite matches so far of my own. And any other Chris Jericho match that I'm a part of is always my favorite. So respect Chris Jericho. I'll beat the shit out of you.
That's a fact. I do want to get the final question that I have for you is I always like to ask people like their goals or people that they still want to wrestle that they haven't wrestled yet. Do you got anybody in mind?
Oh, I got a bunch of them. Number 1 on that list. Yes, please. Number 1 is Bryan Danielson, of course. Bryan Danielson. I'll give you 3 more. Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe, and Ishii. Yeah. Little match. Okada, Ibushi's back, so let's throw Ibushi in there too. I love all those guys. I'm a huge fan of Japanese professional wrestling, so anybody along those lines. And of course, here at AEW, we got a huge roster of very talented individuals, best wrestlers in the world, and I'd like to mix it up with all of them, honestly. So, yeah.
Oh my God, I would love to see all of those matches that you just named right now. Like you and Bryan Danielson would be absolutely crazy. Just everything in general. Well, Bryan, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me here. Really fun to have you here on the channel. Thank you to everybody watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye, everyone.
Pay up, motherfuckers.